got in. But having a Rakan to really kind of hold this all together to allow Diana to make sure she can maximize her ults, and then you can end up, of course, spinning to win with the Samira at the end. It's a really great comp here for T1. It's a little bit off meta in regards to having, you know, two side laners in the solo lanes here, in the Camille and the Tryndamere, but it does give you an extremely well-rounded late game. She wasn't invited.
No, she wasn't. Or at least she was just taking a rest because she wasn't feeling so well after all of the nerfs.
Yeah.
She didn't do so well. Thankfully, she's been rebuffed, so she's back in the meta, and I like it because she's a lot of fun to cast and to watch.
Though I don't want to say there's no way for this comp for DRX to work together well.
I mean, if you have a look at all the individual parts outside of the Rel, I guess, which is a little bit niche, these are very strong picks in their individual lanes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can get a lot of prio with this, especially with Pyosik being aggressive early. And obviously, Tryndamere is going to struggle pre-6 in this lane. Even with Diana here, like, he's not going to get a ton of help before Diana has her ult. We're going to just engage. What?
Yep, Pyosik going to have to probably get out of there. He's still burning down. He's going to get killed for first blood, and Carrier will pick that one up with his Ignite. Oh, dear.
Where are my question mark pings for this one? Because what's going on
chat,
here?
I think. Definitely in Twitch chat, Wolf. Don't worry about that. Well, mid Tryndamere was played a long time ago. Of course, was played at Worlds, but that is not the LCK, so it's been 3,000 days ago, and it was CJ Enters Frost's Macnoon. Shout out to Macnoon.
Well,
I got to hang out with him a few years ago.
It was Reapered. He lost to Magnoon.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Macnoon just smacking folks with his mid lane Kayle, which I remember mid lane Kayle. She was definitely.
Oh, it was Kayle.
Impressive.
I thought it was Pantheon. I misread the icon there.
Yeah, no, and the icon didn't look like that back then.
Yeah.
So
well.
Yep. Pyosik now gonna wrap around. Beryl actually took a lot of damage there as Carrier now Battle Dance on cooldown. He could be one of the options as he's going to run the heck away from this one. Bladewell comes in. There's the crash down. Gumayusi gonna flash to get himself out of the way. Thankfully, Carrier's there. Did have the Gleaming Quill heal in order to keep
the Tryndamere response. They definitely prepared this as Pyosik is caught. Oh, no.
Again. Okay, he's going to have to flash to get out of the way of the grand entrance, but there's the flash in from Beryl, gets the knock up onto Gumayusi, who dashes to get himself out of the way. The root comes through from the Graviton, but Beryl is going to fall down first. Faker gets the inside track yet again, and the low health bars from T1 can't be capitalized on here, as Deft has heal. He has flash, but he wants to stay in. He grabs one kill, flashes over the wall. Owner is after him, and can the crescendum work? It will not, as the kills are both locked down and T1 walk away victorious.
They can get that critical gold onto the Corki early.
Yeah. Oh, Deft might actually get caught out here as Carrier has vision over the wall, flashes on in with the grand entrance. Great crash down though as Deft tries to keep himself alive. Red, white don't fight. They do manage to take him down, but it's a lot of AoE in here. Oh my goodness, it is a massacre. But DRX are going to reign supreme.
That's all Barrel, man. All Barrel on that play there. The play is fantastic. The crash down there, the Magnet Storm, and everybody is trapped in a choke.
And that is going to say no to all of that aggression. Beryl actually turns up as well. As you can see, DRX actually wanting to continue this one. Zeus playing very defensively. We've been seeing him all game, just throwing out these hook shots backwards. Now moving towards the lane, and Kingen finds himself taking a negative trade. Again, Zeus he loves it. He loves connecting the hookshot to that particular rock, as now Carrier with the quickness does try and get on in there. Avoids the grand entrance really nicely, and now the circles come in. Faker will turn up, as Zeus is going to get taken down. Pyosik as well. Some low health bars, but it's Faker that's getting all of these kills. Owner picks up one of them, and now Zeka is running for the safety, or theoretical safety, of this turret. Faker still has the ulti, though, as he slows the Corki down, gets the flash. He's going to have to wait for another Valkyrie, but I don't know whether he'll have it in time, and he won't. Faker picks up his third for the fight.
Now, Faker still has flash, didn't even need it there, and it's a triple.
Once again, vision is gained from DRX, but it looks like it's just commitment here from T1 onto the Baron. Zeka nowhere near it, and the Baron is going to be secured for what looks like for free, but in goes Beryl. Great Magnet Storm onto threes. The Moonlight Vigil comes down as well. Faker gets exhausted, and Deft is absolutely obliterated, but on the rest of the fight, it is looking okay here for DRX until Gumayusi gets that S rank, and they just decide that they're going to win. Zeka still does a lot of damage as Wind Becomes Lightning comes in. Pyosik's there once more as that front line, but it's a good stun from the hook shot. Good knock up as well. Zeus is going to have to chase after this one. Pyosik Can he actually get himself away? And it looks like he will. So it is Pyosik and Zeka against... Oh, never mind. It's Zeka against the world. As you can see, even Zeus is not finished yet. Zeka will be able to use that Valkyrie to get away. But it's a one fight, and still a few Barons remain for T1.
Yeah, it's amazing that if any turret stands for DRX, it's that one.
Yep.
As Faker is going to rotate back over here. You've got to be so careful as Def, because Carry is on the other side.
Yeah, Beryl has spotted him out here as the tower is going to fall down. Great grand entrance is going to connect onto Pyosik, but he has the ult to keep himself alive. Faker now gets underneath the turret immediately, has to use the ult, but it does not matter. That's a triple kill. One of them also picked up for Zeus as Zeka once again finds himself completely alone and may have to just watch his Nexus fall.
Faker, afraid of nothing, has his 3 items, got an Infinity Edge extremely early in this game, and might be time to revive the hashtag the things Faker does, because he just walked into 5 people and obliterated them with Guma's help from the back line. DRX trying to use his Corki to defend, but it's not going to happen.
Nope, that ain't going to work, as the Hextech ultimatum says, nope, you're not allowed to leave. The Nexus will go down, and T1 wasted no time that time. That is going to be a 27-minute victory in Game 1. You can see Zeka still did a fair bit of damage, but the rest of T1, and like when you have a side laning composition like this is what the damage graph is supposed to look like. You're not supposed to have the highest damage there, because it's about... circles.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really, really good thing to have.
I really like the Ziggs adaptation, to be honest, from DRX here, because you have, as you mentioned, the circle synergy, but also a lot of really nice, consistent range damage and chip away at T1 while they're trying to set up for objectives. And you won't have the same amount of poke as the Corki will, but you will be able to counteract a lot of that over time.
They do manage to figure out, will look really, really cool. It's just that, yeah, you need to have Zeka on board. He definitely looked really disconnected, and has so far just not really, maybe a little bit unfortunate there, but good trade from
Faker's
Zeka
got a whole wave, and he is just going to push it right into Zeka's health bar there.
Yeah, Barrow going to have to get out, and oh dear, Def definitely in a lot of trouble. Understood that he was going to die. Got themselves further ahead.
So what I mentioned about the sitting bottom isn't going to come fully true here, as Gumayusi and Carryout, with that wave timing you were kind of talking about, are going to rotate up, but they pushed Zeka out. They're going to collapse.
Yeah, Track Repel comes on in there as Barrel crashes down towards Gumayusi, trying to get him out of there, but Carrier is not going to be so lucky. And T1 are going to take the Rift Herald in the meantime. This is on full vision, and unfortunately, with the fact that they invested into that fight, they missed out on the timing. And we'll have Faker turning up here in this mid lane and is actually playing aggressively because Ona is in the area. Zeka now has been exhausted, has to flash get himself out of the way as Ona is going to ult over the wall. Zeka still running from this one. See whether he can actually keep himself safe as he kills the blast cone and then dies.
Yeah, it looks like a misclick there on clicking the blast cone. Probably wanted to click next to it and then hit it afterwards. He probably would have died either way, but
so far, DRX not out of it as far as gold, but 2,000 is still relatively large here for 12.5 minutes, as Barrel's going to have to crash down his way out of this. Ona just going to poke him in the butt, and he's just going to walk on out.
Yep. So still a significant CS lead here for Zeka, but he does not want to push up any further. He should have seen that as they walked over a ward. Pyosik's here, but this turret is basically gone, so Zeka needs to be very careful. Owner, that's not the right path to take.
That's not exactly where he wants to be. As Magnet Storm comes in, Beryl actually just goes so incredibly deep, and he will just be taken down. That's a slight overextension. Good reposition there. Zeka, can he actually survive this one? Picks up the kill onto Ona. Faker so extraordinarily low. The Q is going to connect, though, and now Carrier is going to die as well. Pyosik grabs that kill, and DRX respond. Carrier with more mobility options. Wow.
They also get a huge scryers on the approach here for DRX because of it.
Yep. Barrel was looking for an opportunity, but does get taken down relatively low. And Shirley looks to be relatively uncontested here also. There's some teleports coming on around.
Barrel has flash, but T1 are really respecting his engage. He knows the observers are watching all on Barrel right now.
Yeah, Zeus off to the side. It is going to be the Rift Herald secured here by T1 as Pyosik walks up. It takes a lot of damage for it. Zeus on the flank. You can see not actually going for too much. just yet. The all-in commit, not quite there, as there's the flash forward from Beryl. Mega Inferno Bomb, not exactly going to get the value that they really want, and Owner's now picking up these resets. Good knock up onto Carrier, but he's not the priority target, and Pyoshik is going to get taken down in the end. Gumayushi stays alive. Red-White Guns definitely helping him out there, and that is a very, very nice satchel charge to keep Deft safe. Really have DRX on the ropes right here.
They certainly do. It doesn't get much worse than this, unfortunately, as Deft is just struggling to defend over here. The Observer zoom out really showcases the oppressive T1 that Chronicle was mentioning earlier. They just, when they get a lead, they grab on and they do not let go.
Well, in goes Zeka, finds himself the ulti. There's the fear on Zeus as well, and he's basically out of the fight. Carrier is going to die first as the Moonlight Vigil goes entirely wide. And now Gumayushi, a bit of a sitting duck, as there's a Hextech ultimatum. Nothing he can do about it. Zeka almost dies, but that is 2 quick kills on the defense for DRX. You can see T1 scouting the area, trying to make sure that they know where everyone is. Kingen is spotted there on the side. There's Beryl down to 50%. He's wanting to go, and you can see he's desperate to actually start this fight. As now T1, they're just going to get themselves out of the area.
Inner turret.
Give this one up in trade for that inner turret, like you're talking about. So just taking what they feel is the better trade.
Yeah, and this is what you can do with a Corki comp with a side laner. You just put a side laner in one of those lanes, tell them to push, and then Corki pokes, and DRX really are slowly over time struggling to win that war of attrition because they don't have poke of their own to match. I mean, the Ziggs can try, but eventually, you know, you're going to lose out. Now, they were able to secure the Drake. They held down that end of their side of the fight, but...
And Zeus, yeah, he's keeping them on the clock, and DRX getting more and more desperate. They are going to try and burst down this dragon, but they will have to say goodbye to a large portion of their base, as you can see. Teleport to come forward, and now the flank from the Fiora is on. Pyoshik down very, very low, and Owner steals away the dragon. Cataclysm, the flash comes out, and Gumayushi doesn't have his anymore, but he stays alive for so long, eventually does fall down, and the Rel going to be traded as well, as Zeus diving over the top. He threw out the challenge, and immediately Deft just exploded. As now Zeka, can he actually get enough of these fears to actually work out? And the answer looks like it's going to be no, as Kingen's going to go down. This could just be the ace, as the Vex nowhere to go. Zeus no mana, and so I think that Zeka will survive for the moment, but it looks like T1 have Baron on their mind.
Yeah, easy Baron follow-up here. The steal on the Drake is nice, but honestly, DRX in such a bad position, even if they had secured the Drake there, it's not really a win for them. The reason why this fight happened this way, the two things we were talking about, the Corki poke and the Zeus push, is
as Pyoshik is going to try and get into this backline, but before he can even use his flag, he's taken to 100 health. Mega Inferno Bomb finds absolutely no one, as Owner is going to be able to turn into a Jarvan and see whether he can do a better job. He dives forward. Kingen going to get taken down. The grand challenge going to be there to heal everyone back up. And Owner is still looking for more. Man, this guy's popping off, as he is going to be able to help take down this inhibitor. And T1, we'll see whether they stay for the end or whether it is just going to be another reset. But I have a feeling that they probably have enough to just win this game right here.
Yeah, it looks very likely. They have this wave coming through, 2 cannon minions empowered by the Baron, and they have so much damage. Owner at almost no health, doesn't even care.
Yep. And Gumayushi flashing forward because he can. He may as well use it. Zeka is going to get taken down by Faker in the end, and that is the victory. T1. Deft did the most damage in the game, but he zigs. That's just generally how it works, although out-damaging a Corki is a pretty big deal. Zeus, though, versus Kingen on the top side of the map, I think this is one of the times where you're really proud of him.
Yeah.
Actually, like...
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason for the POG interview translation. We are here joined by Faker and Owner from T1. 3 wins already. How are you feeling about this winning streak? Yeah, it's been a while. It feels like it's been a long while, so I'm happy that we were able to get a clean 2-0 victory today as well. Owner, your team is on a winning streak, and you also won the POG, so how are you feeling? Yeah, it's been, you know, a good ride, and I'm happy that I was able to perform well in order to win this POG as well. Game number 1, you guys actually let Corki through and countered with Tryndamere, and that was your 70s champion here in the LCK. Tell us about that pick. I practiced many different champions, and during that process, I kind of realized this is pretty good, this is viable, so I wanted to give it a shot. What's so good about Tryndamere right now? The biggest strength is that it's fun to play. Corki, no fun. Tryndamere, so fun. He can just do everything by himself, like roaming around the map, so it's so fun to play. Indeed, you were roaming all over the map, and you were exerting a lot of pressure. And is that kind of a play that you were expecting since the draft? A lot of teams have been practicing Corki, and in other regions as well. Many teams are playing Corki, so I kind of had a lot of ideas to counter that champion. And yeah, I can tell that many teams are now on the mission to counter the Corki pick on the mid lane, and I think the Tryndamere mission was also very successful. So what's the key in terms of dealing with Corki? You have to dodge a lot of skills from Corki because that hurts, and you just have to dive wherever. And Tryndamere seems to be the best answer. And Owner, as a jungler, what do you feel about Tryndamere mid? His ult, he never dies. He never dies when he used that ult, so I think that's too OP, that's broken. In game 2, this time around, T1 didn't play Tryndamere and decided to lock in Corki this time around. So how do you rate Corki in the current meta right now? Corki is really popular not only in Korea but in all around the world in general. However, I don't like the fact that actually he is getting first picked or blind picked. And it's not fun to play and also to watch. So I'm pretty much unhappy about the current meta with Corki. I have another question about game 2 pick and ban. Zeus played Fiora. Gragas was flexed as a support pick, and then T1 picked Fiora as their top laner. Could you break down that pick? So we kind of picked Gragas early on, and then Keria told us that he can actually play that as support. Zeus also is very confident in Fiora as well. And Owner, after 7 games here in the LCK Spring Split, you played Viego for the first time, and Viego is actually having a very low win rate. How do you see this champion? Well, all about the win rate, it's because I didn't play Viego so far. I think Viego is a pretty decent pick. Baker, what do you think about that? I'm nothing, pretty much. Do you also think that Owner's Viego is special? Not as mine, but yeah, alright. Owner, what do you think about that? I'll save my words. And some say, LCK, we're having a lot of Lee syndrome here. Lee Sin is actually not having a high win rate as well. What do you think about that? I don't think Lee Sin is the best champion right now, but as long as I play it, we can still get the victory. I guess it all comes down to the pilot, and looking forward to seeing Owner's Lee Sin in the future. And your next opponent is Leave Sandbox. You'll be playing against Closer, your former teammate. Now that he's on a different team, I hope we can have a good game, and I will punish him. And Owner, would you like to add on to that? I've never been on a 4-match winning streak so far, so I really want to get the win in the upcoming match, and I will make sure to actually punish Closer as hard as I can in that series. And lastly, is there any message you want to send to all the fans out there? It's been a very long while to have an interview in front of the live audience. I'm so happy, and also I really appreciate all the support from fans here and also watching online. Same, I'm so happy to see so many fans supporting us here at the venue, hearing them cheering us, clapping for us. Always feels great, so thank you.